The course structure will be looking at history of the web. We'll be introducing HTML5 elements, semantic elements. We'll be writing more meaningful markers with HTML5. We'll learn how to build better web forms. We'll learn new audio and video tags, and we'll have a basic drawing using canvas. So before begin the journey of HTML5, let's have a look at history of the web. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee was thinking about the difficulty scientists at CERN encountered when sharing their papers and research results. Each had tools for writing papers and other documentation on their own computers. But CERN was mostly populated by researchers visiting from the universities that employed them. They brought their own computers with them, so there were wide varieties of different computers, each with unique document style. If you wanted a document from a fellow research computer, then it was likely you need to either learn to use that different computer program before you use it, or you need to transform the output of your colleague's software to make it compatible with your own. Berners-Lee had written several of these conversation utilities, but eventually he realized that instead of a succession of small utilities, you will be better off solving the general problem. He believed a hypertext system will be ideal, but systems at that time were too complex and difficult to author for. He set about designing a simple hypertext system based on standard generalized markup language, also known as SGML, which was for a distributed client-server architecture. This culminated in the release on the day of Christmas 1990 of the World Wide Web browser and the server. It allowed each individual to publish their documents in a standard format that anyone else could then read across the network using the browser. The browser didn't need to be a particular bit of software. Anyone was free to implement a viewer. The HTML document format was plain text interspersed with special tag marked by angular brackets, such as P for paragraph, LI for list items, to mark the purpose of the text. These documents could easily be created on any type of computer. The idea was quickly caught on, and in the academic world, and several more browsers appeared. libwww, Mosaic, Midas, Voila, and Anira were some of the browsers. The authors of various web browsers collaborated on the www talk mailing list, discussing implementation strategies and arguing about new features. Implementation usually won out over theory. When Mark Anderson proposed the image tag, which is now popularly known as IMG tag, it was felt by many to be worst of several proposals put forward. But Anderson was the first person to implement his proposal, so that was the tag everyone used in their pages, and it's the tag we still use today. The primacy of features over standardization threatened to destroy the ideals on which the web was found before even it was really got started. The situation was heading back towards the original state of affairs: documents compatible with only one single client application. In an effort to stem the tide, Tim Berners-Lee and Dave Raggett produced a draft document in April 1993, which was known as Hypertext Markup Language version 1.0, and submitted it to the Internet Engineering Task Force, known as IETF. The IETF was the standard body that controlled most of the standards relevant to the Internet. TCP/IP for network communication, DNS for name resolution. So you can type in easy to remember addresses like yahoo.com instead of 65.195.160.76, and SMTP for email, among many others. The published standards were known as request for comments, RFCs, reflecting the consensual attitude that marked the growth of internet over the previous 2 decades. The HTML 1.0 draft was overtaken by rapid development of browsers. In the time it took to move through the standard process, the state of art in web browser moved on significantly. But the web was becoming more increasingly popular, so the need for some sort of standard was even more acute. HTML 1.0 was soon to be replaced by HTML 2.0.